Dear students, today we are going to take up chapter number 4 of Geography, Class 10, Agriculture. So let us begin the chapter. What are we going to learn about? The chapter relates with agriculture, agricultural practices, various crops, their spatial distribution, and the climatic conditions that control the growth of these crops in different parts of our country. India is an agriculturally important country. 2/3 of our population is engaged in agricultural activities. Agriculture is a primary activity which produces most of the food consumed by us. It produces raw materials like cotton, jute, sugarcane, etc. for various industries. Tea, coffee and spices are exported too. Agriculture is indeed an age-old economic activity. Over these years, cultivation methods have changed significantly depending upon the characteristics of physical environment, technological know-how and socio-cultural practices. Do you know that in India, the farming varies from subsistence to commercial type? So today, we are going to learn about the various types of farming. The first we learn to gain an insight is about primitive subsistence farming. This type of farming is practiced in few pockets in India. It is practiced on small patches of land. Primitive tools like hoe, dhow and digging sticks and family or community members or laborers work on the field. This farming depends upon monsoon, natural fertility of soil and sustainability of other environmental conditions of the crops grown. Do you know, children, it is a slash and burn agriculture, and farmers clear a patch of land and produce cereals and other food crops to sustain their families. With the decline in soil fertility, farmers shift and clear a new patch of land. Soil fertility is replenished through natural processes. Land productivity in this type of farming is low as the farmers do not use fertilizers or modern inputs. The primitive subsistence farming is known by different names in India. Let us learn about the names. It is known as jhumming in northeastern regions. My friends, all those of you who are living in northeastern parts of the country, Nagaland, Mizoram, Meghalaya, also familiar with the term jhumming. It is known as dipa in Bastar district of Chhattisgarh and in the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. While in Madhya Pradesh, people know it as bewar or dahiya. It is also known as kurwa in Jharkhand, Waltre in southeastern Rajasthan and kheel in Himalayan belt. In Andhra Pradesh, it is known as podu or penda. The names by which it is known in Western Ghats is Kumari, while in Odisha, it is known as Pamadabi, Komam or Bringa. Do you know? Slash and burn agriculture is also known by different names in different parts of the world. It is known as milpa in Mexico and Central America, conuco in Venezuela, masole in Central Africa, ladang in Indonesia, and in Vietnam it is known as ray. Isn't it interesting to learn these names? Yes, indeed. So what is intensive subsistence farming? This is the type of farming which is practiced in the areas of high population pressure on land. It is labor-intensive farming where high doses of biochemical inputs are used for obtaining higher production. Though the right of inheritance leading to the division of land among successive generations has rendered landholding size uneconomical, The farmers continue to take maximum output from the limited land in the absence of alternative source of livelihood. Thus, there is an enormous pressure on the agricultural land. Another type of farming we will today learn about is the commercial farming. What is commercial farming? In commercial farming, to obtain higher productivity, higher doses of modern inputs, for example, high-yielding variety, also known as HYV seeds, chemical fertilizers, insecticides and pesticides are used. The degree of commercialization of agriculture varies from one region to another. Do you know rice is a commercial crop in Haryana and Punjab, but in Odisha, it is a subsistence crop. Plantation agriculture is also another form of commercial farming. It is a type of commercial farming in which a single crop is grown on a large area. The plantation has an interface of agriculture and industry. Do you know, children, plantations cover large tracts of land using capital-intensive inputs with the help of migrant laborers. All the produce in this is used as raw materials in respective industries. Since the production is mainly for market, a well-developed network of transport and communication connecting the plantation areas, processing industries and markets plays a key role in the development of plantations. Can you identify the photograph that is shared in the slides? And I'm sure my friends, all of you living in different parts of the country will also be able to identify various plantation crops. The physical diversities and the pluralities of culture is reflected in agricultural practices. Various types of food, fiber crops, vegetables and fruits, spices and condiments, etc. are some of the important crops grown in India. India has 3 cropping seasons, namely the Rabi, the Kharif and the Zaid. What is Rabi cropping season? They are sown in winters from the months of October to December and harvested in summers in the months from April to June. Wheat, barley, peas, gram and mustard are some important Rabi crops. Punjab, Haryana, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Uttar Pradesh and Jammu and Kashmir are important areas for the production of wheat and other Rabi crops. The Kharif cropping season. The crops are grown with the onset of monsoons in India. They are harvested in September, October months. What are the important crops that are grown? You know, paddy, maize, jowar, bajra, tur, which is also known as arahar, cotton, jute, groundnut, etc. are the important crops. Rice is a Kharif crop. Do you know, children, it is the staple food crop of India for a majority of people. This crop is grown in the areas which receives about more than 100 centimeters of rainfall, an annual rainfall of over 100 centimeters and the temperature high at about 25 degrees Celsius. The rice is widely grown in Assam, West Bengal, coastal regions of Odisha, Andhra Pradesh and Telangana are the regions. Do you know, in states like Assam, West Bengal and Odisha, Os, Aman and Boro are the 3 crops of paddy grown in a year. I would like you to look at the maps shown in the slide which leads you into the school Bhuvan. If you glide across the maps, you will be able to compare the amount of rainfall required for the crop of rice, the type of soil, and also you will be able to understand the conditions of growth that favor the cultivation of rice in these regions. The Zaid cropping season. The Zaid cropping season is the season in between the Rabi and the Kharif season. There is a short season during the summer months known as the Zaid. Which are the crops that are grown? Watermelon, muskmelon, cucumber, vegetables and fodder crops are chiefly grown. Do you know sugarcane is also grown during this season, but it takes almost a year to grow. Well, children, let us also now try to gain an information about the crop that is also a staple diet for a large majority of Indians. It is wheat. Wheat is a rabi crop and second most important cereal crop. It is the main food crop in the north and northwestern parts of India. It requires a cool growing season and bright sunshine at the time of ripening. Requires 50 to 75 centimeters of annual rainfall, which is evenly distributed over the growing season. There are two important wheat growing zones in India. It is the Ganga-Satluj plain in the northwest and the black soil region of the Deccan. Major wheat producing states are, well, I am sure you all are aware, are the states Punjab, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Rajasthan and parts of Madhya Pradesh. Have you heard about millets or the coarse grains? Ragi is an important millet crop and is also a coarse grain. It is very rich in iron, calcium and other micronutrients and roughage. Ragi is a crop which is grown in dry regions and it grows well on red, black, sandy, loamy and shallow black soils. Which are the areas where ragi is produced? The ragi producing states include Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Himachal Pradesh, Uttaranchal, Sikkim, Jharkhand and Arunachal Pradesh. Jowar is the third most important crop with respect to area and production. It is a rain-fed crop and it is mostly grown in the moist areas which hardly need irrigation. The major jowar producing states include Maharashtra, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh and Madhya Pradesh. Bajra is yet another millet. Do you know it grows well on sandy soils and shallow black soils? Which are the states that are known for producing bajra? Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, Gujarat and Haryana. Maize is a crop which is used as both as food and fodder. Do you know, children, maize is a kharif crop. In some states like Bihar, however, it is grown in rabi seasons also. The major maize producing areas include Karnataka, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Andhra Pradesh and Madhya Pradesh. Maize requires temperature between 21 degrees Celsius to 27 degrees Celsius. Old alluvial soils support the maize crop well. Use of modern inputs such as high-yielding variety seeds, fertilizers and irrigation have contributed to the increasing production of maize. The maize-producing states of India are Karnataka, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Andhra Pradesh and Madhya Pradesh. Pulses need less moisture and survive even in dry conditions. Major pulse producing states in India are Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, Rajasthan, Maharashtra and Karnataka. Pulses except arahar are leguminous crops. And what is the importance of leguminous crops? I am sure in science you have been taught that they help in restoring soil fertility by fixing nitrogen from the air. Thus, they are mostly grown in crop rotation with other crops. So, dear children, Today we learnt about what is agriculture, how is agriculture an important activity, the types of farming, and also about the various crops and their geographical conditions of growth. In the next session, we will be taking up crops other than the food grains, and also will take an insight into the various technological and institutional reforms that contributed very significantly in improving the Indian agriculture and helped us to move towards a bright future.